at lovedreamingpeach.com.
There might be typos in the auto-generated caption. I'm gonna go watch Peter, so I'm gonna let this one load.
Reverse. And let's see. So I just wanted to jump in to talk about Sarah Boone for one more quick video. My kid is right there. Oh. It's pretty dark. So it's 8:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peter Tragos, Lori, will be coming on live to talk about today's day 4 of the trial, testimony, witnesses, rulings, motions, etc. I just wanted to add, I think I missed the last video I was doing was making the soup. There was a few things I wanted to say that I think I didn't get to. One is that listening to both of the psychologists who came on to talk about battered person syndrome, all of the symptoms, all of the criteria seemed to be the way Sarah behaved. Something I found incredibly notable was that in Sarah's testimony, when she went through the whole day's events, everything was, I decided. We got up and I decided we needed to do chores. Lucas was with Brian, and she was supposed to be picking up Lucas after school that day. So Sarah was arrested on Tuesday, February 25th, 2020, which means that the day before that Monday, when she woke up at noon, and Brian was calling her again and again and again to find out, yo, bitch, are you going to go pick up our kid? It's your day. It's your week. Are you going to do what you're supposed to do? He shouldn't have been calling her, yet he was calling her. Why? Because he testified that, in his police interview, I actually had to go back and listen to his testimony, because I missed that. What he said in his testimony was brief. Okay, but he did say in the police interview that, or in the body cam, well, the reason that I call her, even though it's her day, is because a lot of times she doesn't go. She's basically she's drunk, unreliable, doesn't show up. So him as a responsible parent, he doesn't want to just be like, well, she doesn't show up, fuck my kid. He actually cares. So he's doing her job for her, and she's literally fucking ignoring him. And she even admitted on the stand in testimony, yeah, I knew that he was calling me because it was my job to pick up Lucas that day, but he needs to know that I have shit to do. Okay. And that morning, the shit she had to do was to do some chores and make her bed and somehow magically get rid of those 2 bottles of wine without walking by the front door where her dead boyfriend was in the suitcase she put him in the night before. If they don't mention on the rebuttal about, and by the way, girl, how and when did you get those wine bottles into the garbage can? Like, how long did you have that man dead in the suitcase while you were awake, active, doing shit? Were you cleaning up the mess? Did you throw George down the stairs in the suitcase and it went kapoom and made a mess and you fixed it up and you cleaned it up? Were you planning to dispose of his dead body in the suitcase and you were hoping Brian would help you, and he was like, hail to the motherfucking nah, bitch, call 911 pronto. I'm not even stepping foot in this apartment. No, thank you, ma'am. I'm going back to my car and waiting for the police. Apparently she beat on him during their wedding, during their marriage, and I want to hear about that. I need to, I hope he does come back tomorrow, but I don't know if he will. And I don't know how much they talked about that. I have to go watch his testimony. But so when they got divorced, Sarah was awarded a lump sum of money plus monthly alimony, $1,000 a month, plus like $100 a month for child support. So between the lump sum, she was paid for. Her townhouse was paid for. She said at one point, we used to be able to afford vodka, but now all we can afford is wine. She's not an alcoholic, though. So it's her place to live. She has income, so she's set without working. However, George has to work. George has to pay the bills. She's got a car. It's not his car. It's her car. She's mad when he takes the keys. She said he put the keys around his neck. But yet he has no way to get around, only she does. They had one phone. She had a phone. It was her phone that Brian Boone paid for. So she didn't have to pay for the phone. She had a password that George didn't have. Her boyfriend of 3 years who lived with her, who had no phone, whose only phone was her phone. So if he wanted to call his mom, his dad, his siblings, his friends, his job, anywhere. She even complained about the fact that he was cheating on her because he was looking at porn on her phone. He wasn't having actual physical contact with other women. That was what was testified to. He wasn't cheating as in the physical world with an actual another person. He was just maybe texting or just looking at porn online on her phone that she had the password to. And there was a facial recognition. It was her face. So without her there, this man had no access to the outside world except wherever he could walk to on foot, because she was the one with the phone. She kept the password. She kept the facial recognition. She had the car. She had some source of income, her alimony and her marital settlement, divorce settlement, and the child support. Also, apparently, the custody arrangement agreement was, and I don't know if this is true because I saw this in a comment, but they had, I did see the part where it was supposed to be 50-50, like 1 week with him, 1 week with her. Ended up being 1 or 2 days a week where Lucas was with her, which is probably for the best. The least amount of exposure to Sarah in that kid's life is for the best, but still, she was shirking her responsibility. So talk about isolating somebody. Talk about having control. She was financially independent of George. She had a phone. She had somewhere to go. She said she could go sleep over at Brian's if she felt like getting away from George for whatever reason. George at some point could go to his family's, but they got sick of her and sick of him being with her and set some boundary and said, if you're going to keep going back to her, you can't keep coming back to us. So either you come here and you be with us, or, God help you, which didn't, because Sarah, the devil, the blue-eyed white devil dragon lady murderer, decided enough is enough. The fact that on the stand she said, well, while he was in the suitcase, suffocating to death, well, finally, we talked. We talked? She's so off her rocker, out there bonkers, dangerous, narcissistic personality disorder. They basically testified, yes, she's got all the criteria. You need 5 of these things in order for it to match up. She had like 9 at least. So we'll see. I think maybe by Friday we will get an actual verdict, and that girl will be taken out in chains. I don't think she'll be getting less than 22 years in prison. I think it's possible life. Who knows? Maybe it'll be 35 years. Maybe she'll get 22 years minus the 4.5 she's already served. She'll be out in 15. If she had taken the deal, she could have been out in 7. But that girl needs to be behind bars forever as far as I'm concerned. Okay, bye. See you next.